Hello, you gorgeous bastards, and welcome back to Break Free from the BS, the podcast that promises to leave you either challenged, changed, or at the very least entertained. And today's episode is a big one. It's about a lesson that I wish I had learned a really long time ago. It took me ages to truly understand this lesson. So I really hope that you get something from this episode. I am so excited to help you discover or rediscover some power that is already within you, my darling. You have been taught your entire life to look for outside affirmation that you are doing a good job, that you are on the right path, that you are performing, that you are productive. Your entire life. I can almost guarantee that if you are listening to this podcast right now, you were taught that by your teachers. You were taught that by your parents. You were then taught that as an adult in your job. Even if you're self-employed, and you do not have someone telling you directly what to do, I can almost guarantee that for a lot of people, they are still looking for outside affirmation and measurements to allow themselves to believe they are on the right path. They are doing a good job. So when you're in school, you are taught to be able to consume a message or a teaching and then be able to recite it either in written exams, in essays, projects, that sort of thing. You are taught to be able to relay a message or do a thing in a certain way. You are then tested and measured on your ability to do that thing well. Whether or not you've asked for that thing, whether or not that thing works for you as an individual, aligns with you, makes sense to you, that's what you're asked to do. And then you're told that you're either successful or not based on that measurement. Pretty universal experience. There might be some people that have had a different school or a different way of being raised at that age. But for majority of people, that's what you would have experienced. Some of you would have flown in that. Some of you would have absolutely have struggled in that because it wasn't your way of learning, operating. It didn't work for you. Then we have parents, which with all good intentions and love and care, again, for the most part, unfortunately not for everybody, but certainly talking on my own experience, I have wonderful parents who love and care about me, but are also human beings. So they have patterns that they play out, that they've been taught. They have ways of measuring what a good kid is, when you are being good, when you are being bad, when you're being naughty. And the response that you get from your parents in those moments, again, teaches you to look outwardly for confirmation that the way you are behaving, creating, performing is acceptable and is rewarded. So your entire life as a young person is looking outward on whether or not this is being received well, whether or not I'm doing the right thing. Measure, 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 measure. You then, as an adult, go into a world where, again, for most people, will go into a job where then again they are given parameters. This is how you do your job well. Ba 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 ba. This is how we're going to measure you. Oh no, you're falling below the baseline. Right, we're now going to put you on performance support. We're going to potentially fire you. Ultimate punishment for not being able to do this thing well. And I'm not sat here saying that obviously that's not needed. Of course, when you're working in a job, you need to understand, how do I do this job well? How am I going to be measured on doing that job well? We could argue about how much those measurements are for people versus profit. Obviously, they're for profit. I've worked in retail since I was 15. Like, a lot of the things that I'm taught to do and they're measured on, it's not for the good of people, it's for the good of profit, which again is fine. We're allowed to sell things, but I'm just saying, I want you to realize that no matter the intent on why that conditioning is taking place, it's still been taking place. It is no accident that you have a habit of looking outside of you for confirmation that you are doing well, you are okay, you are on the right path, everything is fine. It is no wonder. So first of all, let's take a deep breath and realize that that's okay. It's not your fault that that is currently where you are at. It makes total sense. I am here to remind you that that does not have to be the way anymore. It may have been the way. You can choose different going forward. You can choose a life where the only person that you have to run ideas through, feelings, intuitive feelings that you have about people, places, ideas, you don't have to run them through everyone. All of the answers are within you. All of the answers are within you already. Not only have you been taught to look outside of you, you've then been taught that measurement element. And we think that only happens in school, like, oh yeah, you do a test, you get a good grade, blah, blah, blah. You then go into work and it's definitely happening there still. You've got these KPIs you need to meet, you need to hit X growth, yada, 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 measure, measure, measure. I don't think we realize how much we've adopted measurement into our everyday lives as a ladder or a symbol of success in areas. Like, people don't talk about going for a walk in nature and regulating their nervous system, connecting with nature. They talk about the fact they've done 10,000 steps. People don't talk about the delicious food they've eaten today that was whole food, grown locally, cooked with love. They talk about a meal that was 500 calories. Doesn't matter if it's UPF made in a factory full of shit. It's 500 calories. Are you hearing me right now? Everything we do, like running, oh, I can run a 5K in X time. It feels like we have insidiously leaked measuring ourselves in every sense of the word. And we're calling it goals and we're calling it progress and we're calling it accountability. I call bullshit. I'm calling it a complete disconnection from your sense of self, from listening to your unique, completely unique. You are completely unique. No one else has the same experience of this world as you with your body and your brain. You are completely unique. Only you know truly what you need. And that's not to say that you're not completely disconnected from that right now and that you might need some support from other people to start to unpick and pull that stuff out. Like, by all means, get experts involved that you have done some research on and have discerned whether or not that's the right person for you to work with. Don't listen to anyone else. What do you want to do? If you're unwell right now, do you want to just go to the doctor and get medicine like you're taught is normal? Or do you want to look into holistic healing methods? I'm not saying one's right or wrong. I mean, I have my own personal opinion. In fact, fuck it, holistic. I always now look at holistic first. And other people might just be like, go to the doctors immediately. No, my body's telling me something. And obviously, I'm not saying if you've just fucking sawn your leg off, oh, let's look for a plant to patch this with. Obviously, go to the fucking hospital. But this measurement of our life, like this having to measure every single little thing rather than just intuitively listening to our body. I at one point was obsessed with my Apple Watch. I was obsessed with closing those rings every single day. And you know what that fucking taught me? Is that on days when I should have been resting because I'm a woman and I have a cycle and I have PCOS, so that cycle's even more hardcore. On the days when I absolutely should have been resting and that would have been the utmost, most important thing for me, I was out there going to the gym, working out, walking my steps, yada, 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 to close those rings, to get my streak. And you know what happens is you fucking burn out, or you then get ill, and you get ill to the point where it's not an option anymore. Your body's like, okay, if you're not willing to take rest when I'm throwing up signs to you that you need to take rest, and you're just not listening, you're so fucking distracted up there, you're not listening to your soul and your body, fine, I will take you out so hard that you have no option. I remember it happening so many times. So many times. because we're taught that the measure is more important and more impressive than our ability to listen to ourselves and our body. Rest is so unbelievably important to our lives and our success and our output and our connection to selves. It's so important. And I am only just learning now how to fully listen to my body and that all of the answers are within me. And I've actually had a couple of months of there's been a lot going on, and there's some stuff that I can't actually share with you now for legal reasons, and that might sound really bougie, and it's nothing even that mental, but I actually just can't tell you right now. But it's big, and I will be able to talk about it very, very soon. And I've been doing a lot, and I have not been honoring rest like I know I should have. And guess what's happened? Your girl is now on day 17 of bleeding. 17 fucking days straight. And it forced me to take 2 days where I just basically slept for 2 days. I had like a day where I just slept and was absolutely wiped out. And then I bounced back the next day and was like, sweet, go, go, go again. And then my body went, took me out again for another day. If I do not honor rest as part of my rituals and rhythms of my life, when I wake up and I feel knackered, if I just choose to push through that and call it progress and call it the hustle, the grind, all I'm doing is kicking the can down the road until the cans have accumulated and it ends up being a fucking boulder that flattens me. So you have to learn to turn inward, give yourself full permission to give your body whatever it needs when it needs it. So sometimes I am firing on all fucking cylinders and I'm like, okay, let's go. And I absolutely challenge my brain, my body, my energy to really send it and get stuff out into the world and get lovely time with my friends socially in. And then there are days when I wake up now, and as I say, if I don't listen to it, it catches up with me and it reminds me, But there are days when I wake up and immediately I'm like, today is not a day to push. Today is a day for creative rest. So whether I just do a bit of painting, it's for slow stretching on the mat, not going and lifting heavy at the gym. It's sitting in nature rather than sitting and doom scrolling. If I do not listen to my body's messages in those moments, I suffer. But for as long as you're taught that the permission needs to come up from outside of you, permission to rest, permission to follow a certain creative pursuit, permission to express yourself fully without shame, with joy and with love publicly. For as long as you look to the outside world as a measure of success for that, you will be caged. Now, lots of you'll be like, Lou, I don't have a clue what I want or need. It's a mess in here. And it's noisy and there's so much outside influence happening. Like, I don't know how to look after myself right now. You might be so far away from where you want to be that you're like, I don't know how to do this. And that's okay. It's important to be okay with where you are right now, because you kind of have to make friends with where you are right now to a certain respect anyway, because I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's you right now that is going to get you wherever you're wanting to go. There is no future version of you that is coming to save you. No one else is coming to save you. And that's what's so fucked about this whole thing, is that you're taught to look to outside for affirmation and confirmation and these measures, as I just say, but you actually have to do it all yourself. Let's say you are wanting to become an artist. Between you and becoming an artist is you, first of all, painting and giving yourself the time to do that, and that being something that is absolutely prioritized for you. You also then need to start putting that work into the world. If you are not brave enough to let go of outside measurement, because that's the only thing that will be stopping you from posting, is the worry that it won't land well, that it will get slated, that it won't get seen, right? For as long as you put the measure of that art ahead of just putting your art out there, you are at the mercy of everybody. You're constantly going to put a video out and go, oh, that one didn't perform well. I'm not going to paint like that again. Oh, that one performed really well. Oh, it's not really my favorite way of painting, but I'll just do more of that because that's what did well. Oh, it's not doing well anymore. People must be bored of it. I'm going to have to go back to, like, for as long as you are measuring what you're doing via how it's received by everybody else, you are betraying your own voice, your own purpose, your own unique imprint on this world in this one life with the tools and what we have available to us right now. You deserve to be seen in your full right now. Your journey is beautiful. There is no need to feel shame about where you are at right now. And I truly mean that. I do not care where you are at right now. There is no need to feel shame about it. Honey, I have been on the fucking bottom. I've spoken about it on two of the previous episodes. I have seen the ugly truth of what trying to please everybody else in front of myself, hating that, so then numbing out. I was doing all of the things to numb out the fact that I felt soulless. I felt crushed. And I felt like I just constantly was changing paths, changing routes as to where the hell I was headed because I was constantly looking outside of myself. And if I could go back and give myself a hug at very rock bottom and go, honey, it's all here in you. You are the most powerful force. The only person that you need to listen to is yourself. Get rid of all of the distractions, sit in the discomfort, feel it all, release it, and you will bloom. You will bloom. I am not telling you it's going to be easy, but what I will tell you is it is far fucking easier than staying where you are at. I promise you it is easier. The first time I truly sat and held myself through an emotional wave, through a feeling that came up, and rather than picking up my phone or whatever that numbing technique you're using is, rather than just picking that thing up, I made myself sit in it. And I actually done the whole cheesy, where am I feeling it in my body? What is the thought? Is it true? Is it not true? Like the first time I truly sat, and then the most groundbreaking part went, right, feel it, let it come. And I sobbed my heart out for about 5 minutes, ugly fucking crying, full body sobbing. And then it passed. And I came out on the other side and I was like, oh my God, it's gone. It's moved through me. Holy shit. I didn't even know that was an option. Because all of the answers are here already. There is nothing outside of you that you need to have and be the person that you deserve to be. Nothing. It is all within you. And that is not to say I don't fall back into traps of using old coping mechanisms. I 100% do. 100%. But I'll catch myself and I'll go, we're not doing this again. And I will come back out of that spiral. Because even our emotions have been measured. We have been taught that some emotions, good, tick, some emotions, bad emotions. And it's that very act of demonizing, quote unquote, our sort of dark emotions, our shadow side, blah, 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 that creates this cycle of shove it down or numb it out, bad, can't feel that. And then eventually it just boils over or consumes us. You're keeping all of that in your body and then wondering why you're depressed. So getting good at realizing that there is no shame in feeling all of the emotions. I am absolutely someone that feels all of the joy, all of the love now. I am a joy and love whore. I love joy and love. But I also now take great pride in being someone that feels all emotions deeply. When I sob, I'm going to sob. I'm going to let it out. And sometimes it comes up really unexpectedly when I'm doing like breath work or I'm just dancing or I'm sat in the evening and suddenly I get this uneasy feeling. I'm like, oh, hello, what's that coming up? And like the most random shit throughout my life is coming up. And I'm like, I've never dealt with that thing. I never allowed myself to grieve over that thing. I had a memory come to me with something really awful that my ex-husband said to me once. And at the time, I did not have the tools or the backbone or the self-worth to go, absolutely not. You do not say that to me. You do not get to speak to me in that way. I just took it on the chin and I went up into the shower and I just stared at the wall in the shower and I just absorbed that shit and then forgot about it and moved on. And it's just sat there festering, adding to this weight of must get outside confirmation of worth and value. And that shit will come up randomly as you start to pluck away all of the plasters that you've been using and shoving over all of it to try and keep it all together. It will start to come off and it'll be like, "Ugh," when it comes up, but just sit with it. Let it pass. It passes so freaking quick, mostly. I can't speak for everyone's experience, but certainly from my own. When I truly lean in, whether that's screaming into a pillow, if it's anger, or just sat on my knees, sobbing to the sky, sobbing, it passes. And I come out the other side and I'm like, oh, like it actually feels good to come out the other side. You're like, oh my God, I survived it. I moved through the thing and I didn't lean on, like I used to have a binge eating disorder because that's where I felt so much shame about my body failing me with my PCOS and that I couldn't lose weight. Now I know why, because my fucking nervous system was fried because I was constantly trying to measure myself like a normal person when actually I had a disorder that I didn't know about. And then I was getting gaslit by doctors and my husband around it being my fault and I'm secret eating. No. And I carried that shame for so long and the weight would not shift. And it was only when I came inward and started holistically addressing my health and letting go of the shame and the bullshit that I'd been carrying, only then have I now started to just slowly but surely, gradually lose weight. Release weight is a much better way of saying it. Someone said that to me on my comments recently and I was like, boom, love that. You didn't lose anything, hun. You released it. Fuck yeah. Right? That's where it sits. So let it out. You cannot. Numbing is a myth. Like if you had a fucking knife hanging out of your leg, you wouldn't just keep pouring something on it that would numb it. You would remove the knife. And you might need a bit of help from a doctor. You might need a bit of help from an expert to do that, to remove the knife properly. Epic. I'm having amazing hypnotherapy sessions. I will put her details in the description. She's incredible. Hypno with Joe, she is on Instagram. And, there are so many things that I am aware of. And actually, some stuff I come to myself for the answers. They are given to me. I move through it and I don't need anyone. I just need me and my presence. Other things I go, oof, I don't know. I don't quite know how to do that one. So I'm going to seek the support of someone to understand it. And it helps. And honestly, they usually help you look at something, reframe it, just like I am here with you guys, hopefully. And then it goes back to me. They just help me hold up a mirror to the part of me that I'm not familiar with yet, that I've not learned about yet, that I'm not friends with yet. And they bring me home to myself. That's what good outside help looks like. That's why if you're someone that's struggling with binge eating, if you just have someone write you a plan and then give it to you, there is a reason that that shit fails all the time. And there's also a reason that even if it works, the minute you lose that coach, you fall off and you gain all the weight back. Because again, you are looking to someone else for the answers. Any good coach helps you understand, why are you overeating? What are you numbing out? And they might point you in the direction of getting extra support to be able to help with then what their expertise is, which is then educating you on what food feels good in your body. And you've got to remember, there's like fucking millions of coaches in the world. Some are shit. Some are just there to get results fast, get your before after shot. They don't then care about what you're doing thereafter. That's just another picture to lure another person in. They don't care about long-term results. Some coaches care deeply about results and health and like the actual gritty bit of it. So sometimes you might need a bit of help, but again, the answers are within you there in choosing the right coach, using your discernment to understand what is it I actually need here? And the answers might not come super quickly at the moment if you're really disconnected, but that's where things like journaling practice, meditation, letting yourself be bored. Oh my God, there's like a whole episode that I could do on letting yourself be bored. I read a book called Dopamine Nation, and a line in that book has never left my brain since. And it was, we are cactus living in a rainforest. We are surrounded by total abundance of everything. And that's all of us. In human history, we have never had access to such an abundance of quote unquote entertainment, media, sports, social media, food, porn, drugs, alcohol, vaping. There are so many things now that you could walk out of your house and go and get access to. Fuck, not even have to leave your house to get access to. They are in our homes now. You have to remember how recent that is. There was a time where the TV was brand new. Before that, it was the newspaper. That's how they reached you. Then it was the radio. Then it was the TV. Before that, word of mouth, mate. So you need to truly understand we are living in a time where we are drowning in an abundance. You have never been more absorbed and distracted than you are now. So not only have you been taught to measure outside yourself, you're then distracted to the point that you never listen to your own intuition. You're never sat with just you in silence, no distractions, or you with just some music, or you with your journal. If you are not making time to do that, you are completely ignoring your inner world. If the moment you wake up, you pick up a phone, you have no read on your energy levels for the day. If you're not stretching regularly, you don't know when your body feels tired until you start to slowly bridge the gap back to yourself. And I know that might seem a lot right now, but I promise you, even if it's just one little change at a time, one little exchange at a time, you will start to rebuild that relationship with yourself. You will start to rebuild your relationship with rest. You will start to rebuild the relationship with your purpose on this planet. Like, it will all slowly start to come back to you, and it's like a remembrance. There was a quote that I saw the other day. I'll try and find the quote and then I'll put it in the caption. I think it was Rumi. Life is more a lesson of unlearning than learning. The more you realize that it's unlearning that is going to propel you into the life you desire and enable you to express yourself in the most authentic, audacious way, is the unlearning of all the measures, outside affirmations, approval that you've been taught to look for. Once you realize that connection, it's an unlearning, it's not a learning, and that it kind of comes through the other. But this is how I always want you to think about my podcast, right? It's not that I'm like giving you a piece of information to learn. It's almost that I'm giving you a piece of information to help you interpret and reflect it into your inner world and your life so that you can go, okay, what do I need to cut the fuck out here? I'm not often giving you things to go and do. I'm giving you things to go and remove, like weed the garden. You don't need approval from anyone. You do not need to measure your steps to know whether you've walked enough today. You do not need to be told that your art is beautiful to know your art is beautiful. Trust that what you are doing when you listen to your body truly, start to come home to yourself, start to pull all the plugs out and start to cut it all away. When you come home to yourself, you get to be the judge, jury, and executioner of your life. You get to be the person that goes, I am happy with this. I am happy with how I'm showing up in the world. The rest is irrelevant. You will have success and love and joy and all of the amazing things that you could only ever dream of. It all sits in removing the shit, unlearning. And as I say, I don't want to bullshit you and say this is going to be really comfortable. Hard things right now are often what feel good long term. Long term hard is usually what feels good right now, right? And to be honest, once you start to take the blinkers off, even the things that used to feel good don't actually feel that good. Like dead scrolling for me now. Oh my God. So quickly, I'm like, this doesn't feel good. And I often think about if I was to be observing myself, like if I suddenly snapped out of my body and I was like floating above myself and I'm just sat there watching me doom scroll on my phone whilst I'm sat in a house that is full of art supplies and music and ingredients and books. Like if I was watching a movie and I was just hovering above myself, sat watching myself just scroll and laugh and then scroll and have a little cry and then scroll for anything more than a couple of minutes, I'd be like, girl, what are you doing? Oh my God. I'd be like, what's his face? Oh, Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar inside the bookcase being like, no, right? Often if I was sat watching myself do the habit, do the thing that is costing me so much, if I was like observing myself, I'd be like, no. Equally, if I had just recorded my thoughts and a video that I want to put out into the world, and then right as I go to hit post, I start going, oh my God, what if this flops? What if my friends see this? What if they judge me? What will my parents think? And I start drowning in seeking that outside affirmation or worrying about the measure of success that I am not going to hit post. Again, I'd be going, no, post the fucking video. Who cares? Put the video out there. What's the worst that can happen? Oh, someone says something shitty on the internet. What's new? Go for it. So if you needed to hear permission to be your full, beautiful self, if you needed a reminder that all of the answers are within you, they are all within you. They're just a little whisper right now. And you need to get them back to being a fucking megaphone. It's all in you. Okay. I love you and I will see you next week. Go get it.